Hello and welcome everyone to our Alex Solutions webinar from Chaos to Clarity, Trusted Reports for Data-Driven Decisions. My name is Revan Oluklu. I'm the marketing lead at Alex and I'm delighted to be your host today. We're going to delve into a critical challenge facing enterprises worldwide. And joining me is Rishi Deshpande, who heads up our business solutions team and has over 5 years of experience working with a wide range of enterprises implementing and executing their data governance strategies. So welcome, Rishi.
Thanks, Revan. It's a pleasure to be here.
Beautiful. Okay, I'm just going to dive straight in. It's no secret that in today's data-saturated business environment, enterprises are inundated with a plethora of business intelligence reports and data analytics. Yet many still find themselves struggling to extract meaningful insights out of the vast swathe of tools, dashboards, and reports available. The sheer volume of disparate, poorly utilized, and low-quality BI and analytics reports has created a state of sprawl, hindering effective decision-making and jeopardizing business success. To begin this webinar, I'll explore the common pain points and challenges faced by enterprise data professionals when they're managing their reporting processes. And then Rishi will introduce you to Alex's innovative new solution, designed to transform analytics chaos into clarity, providing you with trusted reports that empower data-driven decisions. But before Rishi jumps into those details, let's take a moment to understand the scope of the issue and its impact on today's enterprises. So the current state, I've foreshadowed it a little bit already, analytics chaos. As data professionals on our journey to becoming more data-driven, we always encounter numerous challenges that hinder our progress. And one of the key problems I might face is the need for specific data to make informed business decisions. And I know this data exists within our organization, but finding it is a time-consuming, often frustrating task. So let's say that I'm a member of the sales team. I need to generate a report on customer purchases, but the data is scattered across various sources such as databases, spreadsheets, and even our CRM system. Without a centralized data catalog, which leverages automation, I spend valuable time searching for the relevant data rather than actually using it.
Absolutely, Revan. And you've pinpointed one of the critical aspects of data management. Many organizations overlook the importance of having a centralized data inventory that captures and organizes the data from diverse sources. And just to add to that, Revan, it's not just about having a centralized repository, it's the ease in which users like a sales team can actually find the data within the inventory, which is equally important, right?
Yeah, and even when I do find the data, Rishi, determining its quality, whether it's timely, accurate, or complete data, and so on, it poses another challenge entirely. And it's not optional. Inaccurate and incomplete data obviously can lead to reports that are worse than useless. They can actually lead to harmful decision making. And this manual investigation process for each piece of data required to create a single usable report is incredibly burdensome.
For sure, like once the data is found, the next big question is, can you actually trust the data? And trust can mean a lot of different things. For starters, is it fit for purpose? Is it accurate? Has it actually been sourced from a high quality data source? And all of these questions are something that the data catalog should typically help the end users answer.
Totally. And there's, critical questions that you just listed there, Rishi, but, when I'm searching for data and when I find it and I'm assessing whether it's able to be used appropriately or not, those answers that I'm seeking are not always readily available. So I often find myself reaching out to data stewards, analytics leads, and other team members for assistance, which, further slows down the decision-making process and actually takes more time out of their day as well.
Right. I mean, reaching out to colleagues isn't like inherently negative, but if you have the right collaborative capabilities, they can actually increase the efficiency. And what I mean by that is, if you bring the conversation to the data itself, in the means of discussion threads around the data with chatbots that help you to quickly query the information, or even workflows can certainly streamline that decision-making process.
Absolutely. Another challenge can tend to arise from the sheer volume of content available, right? This is another condition of enterprise data that, a lot of people tend to struggle with. But, when we have so much information at our disposal, it can be challenging to discern what's truly valuable and relevant to our particular needs in our role. And there's a lack of awareness sometimes about the data that's available for my purposes. So, this means that valuable data assets may go underutilized, leading to missed opportunities for insights and innovation. And for instance, my sales team might be unaware of a data set which contains valuable customer feedback that could provide insights for improving our products or services.
Yeah, I mean, that's right, Revan. And it kind of goes back to what we discussed at the start. It's not about just having a centralized inventory or having the right search capabilities. It's about how do you organize the data which allow the end users to find that and consume that in a meaningful way. And that's something that we'll explore in the coming up sections, the importance of having systematic organization of the data.
Totally. So, we've already been through a few challenges, but, there's a couple more that I think are still worth pointing out. And a lot of the time, one of those is encountering the issue of numerous teams publishing similar reports using distinct tools. So these can provide different results and inconsistencies in the overall enterprise reporting landscape. And that provides, a source of increased costs and complexity as well as inefficiency. So these kinds of duplicate reports, they stem from having invested in multiple reporting tools over the years, each serving a specific department or purpose, which can be fine having a decentralized model, but there has to be a way to manage them. Otherwise, they quickly become expensive and provide contradictory insights. So I think, the final problem as well is the lack of, access controls. Poorly managed access controls can lead to unauthorized access to sensitive data, or overly restrictive access policies actually hinder legitimate users from accessing the data that they need for their roles. So I don't need to tell anyone that poor processes leading to data breaches are, in basically like a huge risk for heavy compliance penalties and reputational losses. But I just thought I'd mention that before we finish up, and hopefully people have a clear understanding of what kinds of challenges presenting themselves at the moment. So Rishi is going to take you through our solution to that at the moment here at Alex.
Yeah, thanks, Revan. I mean, in response to some of these problems that we've discussed, Alex Solutions offers a new solution designed to transform your reporting processes. The solution addresses some of your key concerns around automated data cataloging, reporting unification, improved data quality, as well as transparency through data lineage. So let's jump straight into Alex, and I'm going to show you some of these capabilities in the tool itself. Fantastic. So I'm jumping straight into the Alex map view, where I'm hoping to give you a 30,000 feet view of the data itself. So we know that the Alex catalog unifies your analytics landscape. Now, a lot of enterprises, they use several different BI and analytics platform, often corresponding to different distinct sources. And even if you mention the number of, let's say, Excel files that they might be using for their report generation, so it's quite a lot of data there. What you see on your screen here is a quick map of that centralized inventory where Alex has come in and cataloged the data from all of these different sources, unifying them all together. So things like my Tableau platform, my Power BI platform, but not just the reporting sources, effectively the underlying data sources that feed into my reporting applications have been brought into the data catalog, along with some of those ETL tools which transform the data and make them available for the reporting application. But effectively, this seamless integration of most of these powerful and popular BI tools like Power BI and Tableau, as well as the sources that feed into them, provides and makes Alex that centralized hub where users can very easily discover, access, and utilize the data. But like I said at the start, it's not enough just having a centralized data catalog. It's about how do we actually organize this data and make it available to the end user. So let's have a quick look on that side. So what I've done is I've navigated away to the Alex landing page. And now what Alex allows you to do is to simply organize the data in your catalog that aids discovering the data. It not only helps you improve the efficiency of data discovery, but also enhances your data governance by unifying all of the access controls and providing deep granular visibility into all of the data assets. Now, as an example, you can see here that the data has been organized into critical swim lanes or these different categories. And if you pay closer attention to some of these categories, they're unifying my entire reporting landscape for me, starting all the way from my critical business terms that are commonly seen in my reports. So as an end user, I can drill into this and find the definitions and the standard meanings of what these terms mean within my business. Alternatively, I can start looking at some of the critical data sets as we see here. Now, these are effectively the backbone of my reporting application. So what are some of those critical data sets that most frequently get used or most commonly get used, can be understood, and it's readily available for me to drill into and consume that content. Of course, your critical reports. So there might be hundreds and thousands of reports, but here we have a list of these 60 odd critical reports. Now, how do we get that? Alex also captures operational information as to what reports are most frequently accessed, what reports are most frequently queried, the popular reports, right? So we can bring them in and organize them in a way where your end users can quickly consume more information on them. And in the subsequent sessions or examples, we will have a look into them into more detail. Lastly, a couple of other things that I'll call out, things like KPIs and metrics. Some of the key challenges that the reporting folks struggle with is, hey, I've looked at this KPI, I've looked at a calculation. What does it actually mean? Where is it sourced from? What's the source definition, right? So having clear and easy ways to navigate and consume what KPIs we have, what are the calculations, what metrics have been used is easily possible. And the last thing that I'll mention in terms of organization, all of this is configurable. It allows the users to tailor the user interface in order to promote that data discovery. So effectively, unification and organization allows you to simplify your reporting landscape. By unifying all your reporting efforts, Alex allows you to ensure there is consistency, there's coherence across your assets, which means there's no more duplication, there's no more conflicting reports within different departments. So we've seen a couple of things thus far. We've seen the centralized data inventory. We've seen the importance of having how you need to organize and make this data available. Now let's jump into something a bit more interesting, which Revan highlighted is typically we don't have the trust in the data. We need to understand things such as where has the data come from? Is it sourced from some critical sources or sources of truth? And we'll see how Alex enables you to understand that information. So what I'm going to do for this example is I'll start with my critical reports swim lane, and I'll drill into the revenue by region report. Now, as a reporting analyst, I have a few questions that I need to answer. Things like, where is the data for my revenue report coming from? Is it actually coming from a trusted source in my data warehouse? Are some of the key questions that I need answers to. Now, the beauty about the Alex tool is the simplicity in which the analyst can get answers to all of these questions. Now, as soon as I come into this card, I have rich metadata that I can start consuming, things like my descriptions, my security classifications, and I can certainly see that the quality and trust has been marked as pretty high here, as well as access to who my owners of these reports are and whether it is a critical report, as we can see. But I want to draw your attention to some of these guided navigation links down below. So as that analyst, I mentioned I'm mainly interested to see where was this data coming from? Is it coming from any trusted data sources? So I can simply engage my lineage option here, and it takes me away to another section of the tool where I can start understanding the movement of the data. So I've come to the Alex data lineage service. Now the data lineage service is the place where I can understand the movement of the data, like I mentioned, by looking at the hierarchies within each of these applications. So as an example here, on the far right-hand side, we see our reporting application. I can very easily start understanding what was the core data set table that acted as the input for my report. But what I'm mainly interested is, where did the data set actually get its data from? So if I start drilling into the EDW application here, again, I get a very clear view of the data originating in the landing database, moving through to the transformation, and finally in the presentation layer. Now, as that analyst, I can start drilling into each of these to get more details. So let's perform some quick analysis. So I can see the data coming in from my person schema, where I have a bunch of different tables, all feeding into my transformation database, and then finally feeding into my presentation database. So again, very easy to understand the movement of this data. So effectively, this revenue by region view seems to be as one of the primary sources. If that's not enough, I can also trace it all the way back to the actual source system, where we can see some of the data for the revenue information is actually coming from my personal banking application within the sales and the person schema. But effectively, you can see the ease in which we can trace the movement of the data before it gets to my reporting application. So in just recapping what we've seen there, with Alex, you no longer have to rely on manual documentation or guesswork to understand the lineage of your data. Our automated data lineage feature tracks and records the entire journey of data from its original source to its final destination in your reports. Now, this level of transparency not only helps you ensure the accuracy and reliability of your reports, but also helps you comply with some of those regulatory requirements as well as internal data governance policies as well. Right? Fantastic. So we've looked at some of the key capabilities there. I think one of the last capabilities that we do want to have a look at is how does data quality play a very crucial role in improving the trust further? We've seen the centralized data inventory, we've seen the organization, we've spent the last use case looking at the traceability of the data. But to top it off, let's now start answering questions such as, hey, is the data consistent? Is it accurate? Is it fit for my purpose? And let's show you a very quick example about how Alex can do that. So in this example, I'm going to start my journey at another report. Let's say that I've been notified that my sales report that was used for my customer marketing campaign seems to have not hit the mark. Maybe some of the customer data that we have seems to be inaccurate or not hitting the right notes as we would wish to. So as an investigation effort, I want to actually understand, where was this customer data sourced from? Was it actually of decent quality? And just looking at the report, I can see that the data quality rating on this has been marked as poor, as well as the trust seems pretty low, which is certainly concerning. But we need to now do an assessment as to where was this data sourced from and what the numbers lie. So what I can do in this case is I'll start by getting more context on this report. So if I now navigate back to the Alex map view, it'll give me again this 30,000 feet view of the data that was used to build my report. So the data that is in Power BI seems to have come through a lot of different systems, a lot of different transformations. So let's try to understand how Alex can very rapidly tell me where we have data quality issues. So I've just changed the lens here fairly quickly, and now I can see all of the data that was in my context has been grouped or classified based on its data quality rating. So how easy was that, right? So as that analyst, I can say that, hey, I want to focus my attention on everything that was marked as unsatisfactory from a data quality perspective. So if I drill into that piece there, it's a no-brainer that I have a customer table here. So that's going to be my starting point. So let's investigate, how does this customer master table actually feed into my report? If I start looking at the columns that are a part of my customer master table, again, there's a couple of things here. Alex is giving me that column level information. What are the columns in my master table that I use in my sales reporting? So if I look at things like email, which was critical in my sales campaign or my marketing campaign, I can see on this lineage view what the data quality for my email was. So here I can see from a uniqueness percentage, it's just 75%, which means there's certainly some duplicates happening there. I can see from a validity perspective, not all emails are valid, so which makes sense why some of the emails did not reach my right customers. But effectively, I get a detailed view of all the data quality assessments and its results for me to understand why my campaign did not hit its rights numbers. Similarly, I can start looking at the telephone number, which is another key metric in my report that seems to be inconsistent, right? So again, I can see here what the ratings on my telephone column is within the customer master, which now tells me that, hey, this is the data which is potentially not fit for purpose and being used for my reporting applications, right? So we've again seen a very quick example there on the data quality, but effectively, just to sum up that piece there, Alex automatically captured the data quality metrics that matter to you, helping you understand the reliability of the data, the reports which make up your analytics. With Alex, the time sink of the manual investigation for data and its errors can be eliminated, as you've seen. And this reduces the risk of making those decisions based on faulty information. So as soon as you pick the data has some faults, you've been able to now remediate that information. What makes Alex really special is you're not just getting a unifier. Our product includes world-leading automated data lineage, which provides the traceability for each and every report, as you've seen. It ensures transparency and trust in your data by allowing you to easily trace the origins of the data and understand how it's been processed, how it's been transformed, and used in your reportings.
Yeah, so to recap, Rishi, Alex provides a unified governance platform for all enterprise data analytics, BI, reporting tools, and brings together the reporting software with source metadata, right, into the one platform. And by unifying these efforts, Alex ensures consistency and coherence in reporting processes, reducing duplication of effort and conflicting reports, like we spoke about at the start of the webinar. And you also have a way to improve data quality and make sure that the data that's actually being included in dashboards and reports is accurate and reliable so that you can make informed decisions with confidence.
Yeah, of course. I think what we effectively do is we're empowering those organizations to transform their data analytics and reporting processes so that effectively they can enable and build the trust in their data, which effectively help them drive and make better decisions across the enterprise, right? Again, Revan, thanks for giving me the opportunity for showing you what Alex can do. And I think you have some great news to share with some of our audiences around how they can avail a free trial for the Alex software.
For sure, yeah, wonderful. Thank you, Rishi. I really enjoyed that presentation myself, actually. It's the first time I've seen it. So before we finish up, yeah, I just wanted to make a note that it's the perfect time to actually try this for yourself because for a limited time, Alex is offering a free trial, as Rishi mentioned. And I think, you'll see firsthand working with our team who will get you set up with Alex and your own data how we actually drive reporting processes. So don't miss this chance to unify your reporting efforts and improve your data quality, gain transparency and trust into your data sources with our automated data lineage solution. You can easily visit our website or contact our team to learn more and start the free trial. But of course, I'm going to include a link and a simple form that you just have to fill out and then we'll reach out and we'll be in touch to get a better idea of the specifics of your particular situation, what technologies you're using, what problems you're having that Alex can solve, and we'll get started. So thanks again, everyone, for tuning into our webinar today. I hope you enjoyed that presentation. I thought Rishi did a great job. And yeah, please visit our website and get in touch with us to learn more. Thank you very much for watching.